high federal positions. These bases are already manned with over 1 million troops from Russia, Poland, Germany, Belgium, Turkey, Great Britain, Nicaragua, and Asian countries. Why are they here? Because unlike our own troops, many of which along with the Guard and Reserve of 24 states are being deployed overseas, will have no qualms about firing on U.S. citizens when the time comes. There are more than 2,000 Russian tanks, military trucks and chemical warfare vehicles just outside Gulfport, Mississippi. This is going on all over the country. German troops are known to be at Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio, and Fort Hood, Texas. Chinese troops are known to be at the Long Beach Naval Station in California. There's not going to be some future event when the invading troops are going to show up. They're already here. When martial law is implemented, these foreign UN troops will be policing our country, carrying out the plans of the New World Order. In Beech Grove, some research on the so-called furnaces into AGA gas. The so-called furnaces are exhaust fans. AGA Gas Incorporated sells mostly asphyxiation-type gases. You can verify this by doing a search via Dogpile for AGA Gas Incorporated and then look for website MDs and they will list the gases. Regulators are used to regulate pressure and gas mixtures. It seems that this is indeed a death camp for those on the red and blue list. It can process 26,000 people every 24 hours. The site has since been cleaned up to look inconspicuous. People of America, all these things which are about to happen are already prophesied in the book of Revelations, one of the New Testament books. It is written that in the last days America, which is Mystery Babylon, will be destroyed. And I heard another voice from heaven, saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God remembered her iniquities. Revelation 18 verse 4 and 5. The God Abraham, Isaac and Jacob is calling his true bride to come out of America.
Of course, draconian measures don't have to be as blatant as labour camps and concentration camps and martial law. In the UK, for example, a plumber with a heart condition spent 18 hours in a police cell after being accused of dropping an apple core while on the way to collect a medical prescription for his wife. Keith Hurst was arrested by 5 police officers, taken to a police station and had his DNA and fingerprints taken. The 54-year-old, who has had heart surgery twice, needed to be seen by a doctor as he complained of dizziness and chest pains. He later appeared before magistrates charged with littering and obstructing a police officer. In a separate incident, another UK citizen was arrested for dropping a piece of meat pie on the pavement in a town centre. Whilst he was being arrested, the pigeons came down and ate it, therefore taking it away. This person still faced a small prison sentence.
Of course, silly laws are creeping into everyday life, including uniformed posses of police bin officers replacing traffic wardens in the UK as the most loathed busybodies on the street. So far, they have slapped fixed penalties of up to £100 on more than 2,000 householders for environmental misdemeanours such as overfilling a trash can, leaving out too many bags, or putting the rubbish out on the wrong time on the wrong day. Those were but a few examples of stupid, ridiculous laws designed to put you under the thumb here in the UK. But if you bundle all these together into one context, it begins to build up a sinister picture. It is now quite acceptable in the UK for law enforcement officers to spot check any person without any cause whatsoever. Measures are being brought in that anybody spot checked by the police will have their DNA and biometric information taken. Arresting a person for throwing biodegradable matter into the street, which will be eaten by wildlife incidentally, is not a measure to protect the environment. If the authorities were interested in protecting the environment, they would deal with the chemical industry pollution and the pollution coming from all heavy industry that is pushed into the atmosphere that kills thousands of people year in and year out. No, these seemingly insignificant draconian measures are designed for the population to get used to being spot checked by the authorities at any given time of the day or the night. Come the time when ID cards are a compulsory thing within the UK, if you're spot checked and you don't show your ID card, you can and you will be arrested. This situation is not dissimilar to the Nazi regime of the Second World War, and very similar to the Soviet bloc regime during the Cold War, and it is the same as many fascist regimes over the world today.
If you ask a politician assigned to security matters today what he or she thinks about the surveillance techniques used to prevent crime, there's a good chance that you'd be told about the benefits of closed-circuit camera systems. You'd hear convincing arguments about the additional safety in their vicinity because they act as a crime deterrent. Or you might hear about the virtue of being able to track terrorists by filing information about airline passengers or by enforcing the use of biometric passports. Maybe you'd find out how trusted computing protects you from malicious software and viruses. Or how scanning emails and eavesdropping on phone calls helps the police find potential criminals of all kinds. It would probably all sound great, because the idea is that you should start thinking of these techniques as being the cream of the crop. But let's face the not quite so obvious, but nonetheless omnipresent downside of all this. While public cameras may actually help the police to find criminals, modern CCTV systems like the ones used in London are even today able to lock on to any person the operators wish to track using automatic facial identification, thus enabling the police to create a detailed database of, say, all of your movements. The keeping of records about airline passengers flying to the US and, in addition, the obligation for everyone to submit biometric passports are supposed to help fight terrorism. But this also allows the secret services to gather explicit information about the nationality of every traveller, explicit information such as of your eyes and a high-resolution picture of your face. Information you would usually expect to be taken from suspected criminals. Trusted computing promises to enhance security on your PC by only allowing certain trustworthy software to run on your machine. What you're not told is that the person who decides which software you can trust and are therefore allowed to install on your PC will certainly not be you. Scanning emails and wiretapping phone calls for ominous keywords could convict a few small-time criminals, but on the other, it allows all sorts of people involved in this monitoring process to retrieve all sorts of private information. Information you just might not want to share with the staff of your local police station. These symptoms can all be taken as evidence of the slow but steady conversion of our Western societies into police states. Our Western societies claim to be liberal democracies, but our leaders try to enforce more and more repressive laws and instrumentalize the public fear of terror to justify them.